The Nobel Prizes, administered by the Nobel Foundation, are awarded to those who are regarded as having made great contributions to the benefit of mankind in the fields of physics, chemistry, physiology or medicine, literature, economics, and peace. It is widely agreed that a Nobel Prize is a recognition of the genius of its winner in their respective fields. Well, except for the Nobel Peace Prize. That one's a bit political in nature, and as a result has a history of controversy. I'll just say this, there are Nobel Peace Prize winners who've been responsible for more deaths than I ever have, so we'll just exclude that one. But to win one of these Nobel Prizes, you have to be a revolutionarily intelligent person. Intelligence, however, cannot be measured on a single axis. It is a multi-dimensional thing. I have a first-class honours degree in computer science, but I am often made to look like a fool by people who'd struggle to spell the word computer. Similarly, there are people who have deservedly won Nobel Prizes for outstanding contributions to their field, but then go on to embarrass themselves by promoting nonsensical beliefs in areas outside their expertise. This has happened so often that there's a term for it. Nobel disease, or Nobelitis, a tongue-in-cheek way to describe the embracing of strange or scientifically unsound ideas by Nobel Prize winners. Here are some examples. In 1905, Hungarian-German Philipp Lenard was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics for his work on cathode rays and the discovery of many of their properties. This significant achievement was undermined by Lenard's staunch nationalism and anti-Semitism when he became a supporter of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. Lenard then became a proponent of so-called Aryan physics, the idea that Aryans approached physics with a particular spirit that was lacking among the other races, and derided the work of Albert Einstein as Jewish physics. Ah yes, that infamous simpleton, Einstein. Lenard was not the only scientist, nor even the only Nobel laureate to engage in this, but they were all probably glad the Nazis surrendered before the Allies bore the full fruits of Jewish physics. Like Philipp Lenard, there were other Nobel Prize winners who held racist beliefs, quite a few of them actually. Eugenics has been a particularly popular subject among Nobel laureates, to the point where, for the sake of brevity and entertainment, I'm going to skip over a good number of people here and just focus on some of the funnier ones, like American physicist William Shockley, who, along with Walter Brattain and John Bardeen, was awarded the 1956 Nobel Prize in Physics for the invention of the transistor. He later alienated his collaborators by gaining a reputation as a racist and eugenicist, which was most hilariously evident in his disdain for his first wife, who he blamed for having inferior genetics, leading to his children not being as intelligent as him. He was also the only man to publicly declare his contribution to what the media called the Nobel Prize sperm bank. French physiologist Charles Richet, who won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for his work on anaphylaxis in 1913, was another eugenicist, but more interesting was his devotion to studying paranormal phenomena. He hoped to prove the existence of a sixth sense and partook in many seances where he was fooled into believing in telekinesis and psychic powers by mediums who were later exposed as frauds. Perhaps you've heard of ectoplasm before. Well, Charles Richet was the man who coined that term. He believed it was a real thing. French chemist and physicist Pierre Curie, who won the 1903 Nobel Prize in Physics with his wife Marie Curie for their research of radioactivity, was also interested in spiritualism and believed investigating paranormal phenomena could help explain unanswered questions about magnetism.
Fucking magnets, how do they work?
American pharmacologist Louis J. Ignarro won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for his research on nitric oxide as a signaling molecule in the cardiovascular system in 1988. His discoveries regarding nitric oxide led to the development of medications to treat cardiovascular disease and Viagra. Ignarro has since become an outspoken proponent for the benefits of nitric oxide and worked with the company Herbalife to develop dietary supplements that purportedly boost the body's nitric oxide production. Now, maybe the modern world has made me cynical, but when I hear the word supplements, I think money-making bullshit. Ignarro claimed the supplements were effective in a study on mice, but it was not verified if they're beneficial to humans, with Ignarro simply claiming, What's good for mice is good for humans, which is why I sleep in a cage with a giant wheel and lots of cheese. Ignaro was blasted for failing to disclose his hefty financial interest in the supplements when he published this research. French virologist Luc Montagnier received the 2008 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine along with 2 colleagues for their discovery of HIV. He has since become a controversial figure for spreading what other scientists have labelled as misinformation and conspiracy theories, but perhaps his most interesting beliefs are in water memory. Shortly after winning the Nobel Prize, Montagnier published research which claimed that DNA in water could emit low-frequency radio waves that induce the water molecules to arrange into nanostructures, and that even after diluting the solution to the point the original DNA had effectively disappeared, the water would remember it, further claiming that the DNA sequence information could be teleported to other bodies of water via these radio waves. The paper was slammed as pseudoscientific nonsense. American biochemist Kary Mullis won the 1993 Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the development of the polymerase chain reaction that allows billions of copies to be rapidly produced from a single sample of DNA. He also doubts that AIDS is caused by HIV, that humans have any impact on climate change, and believes in astrology. In his book, he claimed to have a midnight encounter with a glowing raccoon who may or may not have been an alien, and who spoke to him before the next thing he knew it was morning and he was walking along the road with no memory of how he got there or what happened the night before. I am not making this up. And you could really go on and on. Nobel Prize winners with beliefs about race, vaccines, climate change, paranormal activity, autism, lobotomies, etc., that are considered by the wider scientific community to be certified bunk. Now, it should be remembered that these people are experts in at least one field, as signified by the Nobel Prize, and it should also be noted that having a viewpoint that contradicts the current scientific consensus does not necessarily mean it's false. After all, Galileo faced immense opposition to his belief that the Earth orbited the Sun, contrary to the consensus at the time. But then again, he had a similar disagreement, arguing that comets were optical illusions rather than actual celestial bodies. The point is, being an expert does not mean you are never wrong. But it does seem odd that so many Nobel Prize winners, who obviously have an intimate knowledge of the scientific method, then go on to voice opinions that fly in the face of established science, evidence, or in some cases common sense. It's unclear if Nobel Prize winners are statistically more prone to espousing stupid ideas than other scientists, but Milton Friedman, winner of the Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences, has suggested a possible cause for Nobel disease. I myself have been asked my opinion on everything from a cure for the common cold to the market value of a letter signed by John F. Kennedy. Needless to say, the attention is flattering, but also corrupting. Somehow we badly need an antidote for both the inflated attention granted a Nobel laureate in areas outside his competence, and the inflated ego each of us is in danger of acquiring. Apparently, so great is the prestige of winning a Nobel Prize that everyone around you automatically assumes that makes you an expert on everything, and perhaps this idea starts to rub off on the laureate themselves, and so they take to the talk shows, the news, the internet to give their opinions on things they really don't know all that much about, thusly making an ass of themselves and proving they're not that much different than the rest of us ignorant buffoons. Well, if you enjoyed this Ignorant Buffoons video, why not watch another one? I have hundreds of these. If you'd like to see my future videos as I release them, you can click the subscribe button, and you can join the channel membership to support me monetarily, as well as receive some perks. Until next time, stay safe. This significant achievement was undermined by Lennart's staunch nationalism and nationalism, like American physicist William Shockley, who, along with fuck's sake, what am I doing? Shortly after winning the Nobel Prize... that sucked too. I myself have been asked my opinion on everything from a cure to the common cold. No, learn to fucking read.